Hello kings and queens, thank you so much for tuning into this video. Today we're going to talk about 7 of the best perks of being a traveling consultant. Before we get right into it, make sure to subscribe and join the kingdom and come reign with us. After you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the notification bell so you do not miss the next video. It will notify you every time I post, and I post videos about professional lifestyle and also just how to navigate as an adult in general. So without further ado, let's get into this video. So the most obvious perk here would be your miles, right? So every week you get to travel as a consultant to a different city, and because of that you get to rack up miles in your name that you can apply to personal trips such as vacation or just non-work activities. So this is great because you're not actually paying for your travel when you go to your client. The company is covering that. However, because you are traveling as yourself, you can sign up to different airlines where you can then start racking up points and miles. That way you can apply them to your personal travel. So for this, I would definitely recommend to pick one airline where you're always flying with, so that way it's easier to stack up those miles and you can get to a status quicker, as well as an amount of miles that you can actually use for and apply to a vacation trip or something like that. For me personally, I choose American Airlines because I live in Dallas. It's kind of easier for me that way because they are really big in Dallas. I can pretty much fly to anywhere in the world from Dallas with American Airlines. So look up your city and see what big airline is there, and then just try to stick to that airline. Sometimes though it's hard because I will go to a certain city where American won't fly as much to, so those times I will have to use another airline, but I really do try to stick to American when it is convenient for me, and that way it helps me to stack up my miles and use that for personal travel. Another perk is car rentals and a hotel point. So being away for work means that you need a means of transportation. So sometimes, depending on your engagement team, you're either going to be able to rent a car or just take Uber and Lyft everywhere. So just like miles, car rental does have points as well, where you can build up your points and then be able to apply them to a personal travel that you do. So that's great as well. Points with the hotels are also awesome. So the best way to do this is, again, to subscribe to one specific chain of hotels. So for me personally, I picked Marriott. So I try to stay at just Marriott hotels, which they have a lot of options, so that's never usually a problem. And so the more I stay, the more nights I have, meaning the more points I rack up and the more free things I can get. This also leads to status. So basically, the more I stay at a hotel, the more points I get, and that leads me to a certain status. So the goal is to reach like the highest, I think it's like platinum status. It's usually great because they have a lot of programs that enable you to reach a higher status quicker. You just have to be on the lookout on their website or on the app, or even call them to see if you can subscribe to any program that will allow you to reach a higher status quicker. And that's usually really helpful because you have like early check-ins, late checkouts, or free drinks, or whatever it is that that specific hotel offers for a higher status person. And also, which is the most important, being able to have free nights at the hotel for your personal use. So all this is really nice because first, you don't pay for your flight, you don't pay for your hotel, you don't pay for any of your car rentals. However, you are able to reap the benefits of keeping the status that the company is giving you by having you like rent all these cars or like stay out of these hotels and fly all these flights, obviously. So that's kind of nice because you really get to use those things for your personal use, for vacations or things like that later, and that's a great perk. Next one is probably my favorite one. It's something called in lieu of travel. This basically means being able to travel to another city instead of coming home for the weekend. So consultants fly out Monday and they come back to their home cities on Thursdays. So on Thursday, you can either choose to go back home or you can choose to go to another city on the company, because the point of all this is that they're paying for some flight, right? So it doesn't really matter if you go home or somewhere else because the cost will still be the same, as long as it's not like a huge amount more than it would be for you to go home. You can usually do this, which is super awesome because people actually use this to just travel around the United States, visit their friends, and never come home. I don't do it as much. I've used it for like family events and things that I've had to go to, but I have yet to use it for like fun. But this is a great opportunity because you can literally visit someone for the weekend and not pay for it. You just have to pay for your hotel or whatever you're doing while you're there, but the flight is taken care of. So it's something that a lot of consultants take advantage of because it's a huge opportunity to be able to go somewhere else for the weekend and not necessarily have to come home. Another awesome perk is what is called the per diem. Whenever you travel, not even just as a consultant, with anyone really, you get a per diem per day that you're not home. But for consultants, it's definitely just for what they eat while they're away. So for example, if I am away at the client, I get, for example, like $75 that day to eat, which is actually a lot for me because I don't really eat that much. So it's kind of nice that I can go ahead and treat myself to a nice dinner or something like that. And then for my firm, it's $100 for like an expensive city, and then $75 for like a regular city. So this is a great perk because I get to eat stuff that I wouldn't usually buy for myself. Go out for a nice steak or try some seafood, or just go and try something new, and I don't have to feel bad because I'm not paying for it. So if it's not good, it's not the end of the world. Do you guys ever like buy something, you're like investing in it, and then it's not good and you're so mad because you wasted money? Well, in this case, you don't have to be mad because you didn't pay for it. But obviously, don't be ridiculous and don't spend uber amounts of money just because you can. But I'm just saying, it's nice to be able to try something new and then not be responsible for actually paying the bill. Another great perk is having access to a credit card that is owned by the company and paid off by the company, but is on your name. So that's always nice because you don't have to worry about using your own card, then like waiting for reimbursements and then forgetting what you spent and keeping all the receipts. They give you a credit card that is issued for you, but it's like owned by the company, but it's in your name. And so whenever you have expenses, you just swipe your card. You don't usually have to take receipts because like you have a credit card statement that lists everything that you spent on there, and that makes it a lot easier because you don't have to worry about the headache of keeping track of your expenses and everything like that. And that's what you would use then for your per diem and any other like business travel, anything like that. A great thing that you can do for this as well is put the credit card in your name and pay like your own annual fee, so that you're racking up the reward points for that. But then again, it's like great because you're not actually paying anything, you're just like keeping the reward. The one thing that you are paying is the annual fee. So what I did for my personal credit card is I called and like had them switch who owns a credit card to my name, and I paid the annual fee. But it's like totally worth it because I'm getting a lot of rewards from like the thousands of dollars that I'm charging to this card every single week from traveling. There are a lot of cashback rewards or a lot of, you know, different discounts or whatever that I can get, and that all goes to me instead of the company now because I paid my my annual fee, so it's like my card. So I would definitely recommend anyone who is in consulting to do this because you're literally charging so much to that card every week, and that means you can reap a lot of those benefits for yourself. Another tip is that you get your phone paid for when you join the company. This is probably a lot of companies, but I thought I'd throw this in there just in case it's not. So you can either choose to have one phone and use it both for work and personal things, and then the company will pay for it. Or you can choose to have a personal phone and just pay for that yourself, and then have a work phone. So you can either choose to have two phones or one phone. I chose to have two phones. I don't know, just because I want to experience having two phones, but like honestly it's not that deep. Like I should just gotten one phone. It's a great perk to not have a phone bill if you choose the one phone method and have the company pay for that. And you can also have a free upgrade as well because they will buy the phone for you, whatever phone that you want, which is also super nice. The last perk I'm going to talk about is something that I've been loving as well, is the fact that when you're traveling, the company will usually pay for your gym fee. So to make sure that you're still healthy and you're still doing everything that you want to do to stay well and fit, the company will go ahead and give you an allowance every month that you can spend to go to gym classes and things like that, so you can still be fit and not necessarily have to subscribe to a local gym. This makes it a lot easier. What I do actually, and a lot of consultants also do, is they use this app called ClassPass. So ClassPass is basically like an online membership that you can subscribe to and pay for, which in this case I'm not really paying for, the company's paying for it. But anyone that uses it, you can just pay for it monthly, and basically a lot of gyms or studios will like kind of link up with ClassPass or be sponsored by ClassPass, so that you can go to those gyms or studios, and then if you have ClassPass, and then you can just pay ClassPass for the membership. So that's been like really awesome because it's given me an opportunity to check out different types of gyms, different workouts, different methods of working out, and that's been like super cool. And ClassPass is pretty big, and a lot of fitness studios subscribe to them throughout different cities. So I can show you what it looks like. Actually, you go on the app and it basically kind of shows you like what gyms or what classes are available depending on what your location is. You can go ahead and like filter. So I'm currently, this is probably, maybe I'll do a screenshot if it's terrible, but I'm currently in San Diego, and it kind of shows me like what I can do and then what times they're available, which is really cool. And then it has like each class, and it describes what kind of class it is, how long it takes, and everything like that. And then I can just simply take an Uber there and work out, and then the next day I can do something else. So I absolutely love this perk because I don't have to pay for it, and I just like the company just does that for me whenever I'm traveling. So that's been amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed those great perks of being a traveling consultant. Please comment down below if you have any clarifying questions, any comments, or anything like that. Let's chat. Make sure to subscribe to this channel and join the kingdom so you can reign with me. And make sure also to turn your notifications on so you do not miss the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching again. Give me a big like if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!